Welcome to Dave C. Straight from the Pit. Dave C. here. I thought for today's episode we could talk about 1987 Gung-Ho and 1983 Gung-Ho. So here's his 1983 figure, and it's a classic G.I. Joe character that many Joe fans know about. And he was one of my favorites as a kid. I didn't have him till a little bit later on. I first saw him at my cousin's house, my cousin Jonathan's. He had this figure. And here's the card art from 1983. Outstanding art, as always. And it says Marine, codename Gung-Ho. And it was a swivel arm battle grip version, of course. The previous year, 82, before that was straight arms. And he first appeared on the somehow animated series in 1983. It was a 5-parter called The Mass Device. And here's the old VHS box for that. And there's Gung-Ho there, depicted on the front, besides Scarlet and Snake Eyes. And I really like having this thing. It just reminds me of the old times when we used to watch VHS. Of course, the first time I saw that was on television back in 83. First I had the comic, of course, like I always mention. And then got to watch the cartoon for the first time. Yeah, this figure is very popular, like I mentioned. And he came with a grenade launcher, as shown there, and his backpack. So a pretty basic amount of accessories. But in 83, that was quite normal. His file card reads as follows. Marine, codename Gung-Ho. File name, Etienne Lafette. Primary military specialty, Recondo. Secondary military specialty, jungle warfare. Training instructor. Birthplace, Fer de Lance, Louisiana. Grade E7, sergeant. Born into a large back swamp Cajun clan, Gung-Ho moved to New Orleans and won a reputation as a bare-knuckle brawler and knife fighter to be reckoned with. Joined the Marines at 18 and graduated top of his class from boot camp at Parris Island. Attended airborne school, Recondo school, and Marine Ordnance School. Qualified expert all NATO infantry, small arms, and most Warsaw Pact infantry weapons. XM-76 grenade launcher. Zap says, all Marines are scary, but Gung-Ho is the hairiest, scariest, craziest jarhead that ever scratched, kicked, and bit his way out of that hole in the swamp they call Parris Island. The first Marvel comic issue that Gung-Ho appears in is G.I.Joe number 11, which was a May 1983 issue. And unlike a lot of the first characters, his first appearance was in the cartoon, not in the comic. And the first frame that he appears in is right here. Joes are on an Arctic mission. And there he is there, kind of taking cover. And of course it's kind of funny because he's out in the snow, but he's not wearing snow gear. And a lot of times that happened on the G.I. Joe cartoon and comic. And here's a look at the 1987 version of Gung-Ho, which was version 2, as we call it today. There were later ones, but 1 and 2 will always be the best versions of Gung-Ho to me. And this one was my cousin Daniel's favorite figure back in 1987. he absolutely loved this character. And this was a figure he got, and he'll never forget getting. And it was on the cover, this figure was, for the 87 brochure. There's Gung-Ho there, beside LT Falcon and Fastra, and the Mighty Defiant. That was the biggest Joe vehicle playset, rather, for that year. And this figure came with basic accessories as well, like his 1983 version. It came with stickers or decals that you could put on, the marine stripes on the arms, and the badging on his chest. And they called this one the Dress Blues. This was his dress uniform for Gung-Ho. As a Marine, a very, very important part of the U.S. Army, of course, is a Marine. And he came with that sword down there. And this is just terrific art from that year. Here's his card here, flipped around. And you can see that it's a Canadian version. It's got French on the bottom. The file card. And there's all the 1986 and 1987 Joes released that year. And one thing I really admire is when you look at these old file cards, you can see that there's a lot of continuity with them. They haven't changed his name on the file card. They haven't changed what he does. They haven't changed where he's from. Still says Louisiana there. So they were kind of very particular and careful with that back then. Larry Hama was, for sure, in kind of keeping the character true throughout the series. And I really appreciate that. And speaking of Larry Hama, G.I.Joe issue number 301 came out this month. And it's keeping the Real American Hero line alive under Image Comics, which is the new licensee for a Larry Hama book. It was previously, of course, IDW, and of course before that Marvel. And yeah, so I chose to get the variant number 1, 1982 version. And as you can see, all you guys know, of course, I don't know why I'm doing this because everyone already knows, but it looks just like the Marvel original that I have up there on the wall. And I chose that just kind of out of nostalgia. My cousin Daniel, he recently subscribed to this as well, so he'll be getting every book coming up by Mr. Hama at my local comic shop. And he got a couple different variants. He got the Cobra variant, as you can see here, and he also got like a drawn black and white variant instead of this one. I think he wanted this one instead of the drawn one, but he got that Cobra one, and I really like that one. That's cool. It's just as cool as this one here. But I'm really glad that they went with this, where you could go and choose a variant cover. And I haven't opened it up yet. I haven't read it. I was very busy this weekend, and I didn't have time to look at it yet. So tonight before bed, I will open it and have a look, just like I always did when I was a kid. And it kind of relaxes me before I go to bed. And I'm really looking forward to that. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Days Sleep and Fit. See you next time.
Still